Hello, everybody out there on YouTube. I'm testing this live broadcast with Google Hangouts for the very first time. I did have some unfortunate issues. Obviously, you can see my awesome basement here. Green screen behind me, but the software that I was using to make the green screen work and crop the image didn't quite work out for me after all. Running into some issues with it. The drivers aren't working right to get it to pick up as a webcam image. So c'est la vie. I'm going on. This is still going to be live test number one and our episode number one live to the YouTube crowd there, and broadcasting live on smarthomehq.net/live. So hopefully everything works out okay, and we learn from the mistakes. But get ready to get started here, and remember this is a podcast for the Smart Home HQ. It's a home automation podcast. I do this. I try to do this every week, unless I'm traveling for work, and then it ends up being every other week, bi-monthly, monthly, bi-weekly, whatever. But thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy. Bear with me that this is the first time doing live video, so things could go wrong and I could mess up a little bit, but I'm learning from the experience here as well. So I'm going to get started here, and if you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message. Use the live chat, or you can live chat. Sorry, it's smarthomehq.net/live. There is a chat program there for you to sign into. You don't have to sign in with a specific account. You can just log right in as guest and type in your own name, however you want to set that up. So without further ado, here we go. Smart Home HQ. This is episode number 32. I'm Chris Compton, and you can find the show notes online at smarthomehq.net/032. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another amazing episode of the Smart Home HQ podcast. This is episode 32, and today is a pretty big milestone, really, with this episode, because I am starting to live broadcast this. I'm doing it right now on Google Hangouts, and it's going to YouTube, and it's supposed to be going to the website, so smarthomehq.net/live. If you've followed any podcast around that does live broadcasting, you pretty much get the gist of it. It's live video on the top, chat on the bottom. It is guest register, so you can just go on over to the website and hit guest. You don't really have to sign in, but it does prompt you if you want to use your Facebook or Twitter or some other social media accounts there. But again, you don't have to. You can log right in as guest. And if you do head over to YouTube and you take a look at this video, you're going to find out that it looks pretty weird. Maybe not so professional that you would expect, really. I've got my basement hidden somewhat behind a green screen tarp, and it's supposed to be masked out with a cool little image, but I couldn't get the software to work at the last minute, so I'm just going to go ahead with it, wing it. This will either be the first of many YouTube videos doing the podcast as well in audio, or it'll be the last one. So we'll see. I'm sure plenty of comments on YouTube and through the feedback and everything will let me know just how much you appreciate it. And I know, if I go and do this more frequently, gotta lose the big headphones, right? You can see it. Basically, these are big, over-the-ear, nice and cushiony headphones. They are what they are, and they're really comfortable for doing the podcast. So I spent a lot of time today trying to get this stuff to work, and I'm sure it's a driver compatibility issue. But like I said, I'm gonna still go on with it. Please excuse me if any stops throughout this. I did have a tickle in the throat that kind of won't go away, so I've got to uh, a mouth or a throat lodging or whatever you want to call halls. I've got halls. There's one in there in my cheek, trying to keep my throat not so scratchy so I don't start going into a coughing fit. Because if it's gonna go wrong, it's if it could go wrong, it is gonna go wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe I have stage fright here. I've been doing this podcast for a while, audio, but I've been able to go back and edit all the ums and I thinks and hold on 1 second right there for me real quick. And now I'm starting to do video here as well. Will I keep it up? I'm not really sure if I'm gonna. I don't know. It depends on the feedback that I get and if it's really worth it. I do have a few items from time to time that I could show off and hold up to the camera, but I want to make sure I don't alienate the people who download and listen to this podcast as well. I'm a huge fan of the Twit Network with Leo Laporte. Watching those guys all the time through their live web shows and downloading the video streams or netcasts after the fact too. It's just something about being able to see what somebody's talking about that really interests me. However, if I'm driving around listening to the audio only, or if I got the video and it's playing just for the audio, phone's tucked away somewhere so I can't look at it, it's so tempting to try to look at your phone and see what's being shown. That's why I try to do an audio and a video track, so when I'm in the car I only have the audio. And it's pretty annoying because you can't tell what they're looking at and you have to go back sometimes and take another watch of the video portion of it to see what you were missing. But so long story short with that, I'm going to try not to do that. I may show some things from time to time, or I've considered showing some things on the YouTube stream or the live stream before I start the audio stream, and then you can kind of check those out later. It's kind of like an Easter egg or additional bonuses, training material, things like that will go on there as well. So the live portion, no editing. You're going to get the awful me, and if I mess up, I mess up. The audio portion of that, I'm going to try to keep on par with it unless I really, really mess up, and then I may go in and edit it, but we'll see what happens. So today I'm going to talk to you about a couple things. I'm going to talk to you about the smart vents. I believe that these types of devices could be a really good companion to your smart thermostats. And I want to talk to you about a program, and Yonomi. I'm really going to mess this up, and I apologize. I don't know if any of the workers for this company or this application listen to this podcast. If you do, feel free to get a hold of me, and we can talk about it on another episode, maybe do an interview or a Google Hangouts. I'm testing that out, so see how that goes. It's in beta right now, so you do have to sign up for it, and if you're selected, they'll send you a link to download Test Flight. So Test Flight is an application through Apple that allows developers to send out beta invites or test invites, so you can test their application without it being fully listed in the App Store. So you sign up for the beta. If you're selected, they'll send you the link. You download the Test Flight application, and then you click on the link again, or it'll transition. However, on my phone, I had to download Test Flight, and then I had to go back into the email and click on the link again. And then that time it ran Test Flight and pulled in the application. Now, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, so that's why I have show notes and links in the show notes for these applications or for the items I talk about. But the first one is, I'm going to say Yonomi. Yonomi. And I'm probably butchering that, but this application is pretty neat, and in the sense that it lets you set up some kind of rules and routines with the smart applications smart devices that you already have. Now, it looks right now that it only supports IP devices. Well, makes sense, right? Because there's no hub for this company in your home. It's not communicating through that hub to other protocols like Zigbee and Z-Wave. So it's communicating with IP gateways, APIs, any of those IP type devices. It almost reminds me of an If This Then That, but a native app on your phone. It has a couple triggers outside of just the app. So you've got your location triggers, you have time and date triggers, and notification triggers. and I'm sure this can be expanded as well. One of the really cool things that I wish this could do is weather alerts, or just some kind of instant emergency alerts for your specific area. So maybe some bad weather's coming through. Let me give you an example. So in my case, we have no cable TV and I have an over-the-air antenna, but we hook that up for games and things like that. It's primarily broadband only, and the Netflix, the Hulu, Amazon Prime kind of deal, right? So your national weather alerts and the little tickers that go across the bottom of the screens usually that say, hey, your weather's pretty crappy right now, tune to this channel, here's a special alert from your local area. You don't get those kind of things. If you live in some areas, you actually have you have a newer smartphone, you can get those emergency alerts or weather alert notifications through the phone. There's a little chip or software built into Android and iOS, probably Windows Mobile too, that allows you to get those emergency alerts, and it'll set your phone off, and an alarm will go off, kind of deal, and it'll flash the message. I've only had that happen to my phone a few times, and it's usually when I'm closer to major cities at the time of those kind of events. At my home, not so close to major cities, so I don't really see that. So this would be cool. So in my setup, the Yonomi app, it found my Wink lights, because I do have those paired with my Philips Hue hub. So it found my Philips Hue lights, the Wink lights. It found all my Sonos speakers, and it found my Nest thermostat. And like I said, it has those location, time and date, and notification options. But it also has a routine section that you can set up. So right now it has when you arrive home, and it does ask you to set your home location, and you can also set a work location. And so when you arrive, geolocation, when you arrive to a specific location, it'll allow you to set what kind of actions will happen. And the reason I say this looks like if this and that, because it literally has on the screen broken down when you arrive at home. I just got an alert on my phone that the Yonomi app is following me on Twitter. I wonder if they're watching this right now. Not really, because I only see one viewer on the live stream. Just thought that was funny. Sorry, guys. But I'm looking at the phone. You have when you're going to arrive, and then you're going to have and it gives you an option to make it an active or a test routine, which is a button you can push and actually test out that routine there to see if it works the way you want for when those actions actually trigger. So on my arrive home option, I've got when I arrive to the home. So it goes when this is executed, if there's your if statement, then here's your then statement. So when I arrive home, my Sonos speaker, it actually auto adds a lot of this in here when it first set up it's kind of like welcome introductory wizard here. So it found all my speakers. When I arrive at home, it plays on all of my speakers. I just got a message on Twitter saying that they're watching right now, so that's cool. My little live view on the Google Hangouts doesn't really have an accurate number displayed there. Anyway, so hi everybody. Hope this goes off okay. So when I arrive home, all my speakers are playing Welcome Home, Chris. And I tried this out earlier, and it's kind of creepy, actually. Just because of the way I have my speakers set up in the house, it creates this weird little echo. Yeah, it sounds like there's a ghost in the house. So I would definitely edit this out a little bit. If you have a speakers upstairs, not near your garage or your front door, you're probably not going to need those in the list saying, hey, welcome home. Or make it say something cool throughout the house and really make it echo. That would really mess with your wife or your kids. That may be pretty fun. But you can have it set up, turn on and off the lights in the specific areas if you're arriving home at night and you want the lights to come on. So that's pretty cool. You can also do that when you're falling asleep. It'll turn off the lights, play a message. What I thought it was really neat is this app actually came preloaded with a lot of different sound effects and on the falling asleep option, I changed it to start a lullaby for my kids. It wasn't what they're used to, um, but I thought it was pretty neat. You can execute that routine, lights would turn off, and then the music would start playing. And you can customize it. You've got your weather report in the morning, and you have your different custom messages that you can set. Sorry, suddenly I've been doing the podcast for so long. Now that I know that people are watching me, it's a little weird. I got stage fright here all of a sudden. But hopefully I said the name of the application right. Sign up for the beta. I did notice a few lags in the window response time during the iOS app or in the iOS application, but it is beta right now. So sign up for it, test it out, throw in all kinds of routines and triggers, load up all the devices that you have under the thing screen, and then provide your feedback. Because that's the only way that these type of applications are going to get improved on is with your feedback. Can't fix what you don't know is broken. But yeah, so this thing the reason I really like it so far is because it's so much easier to set up those rules than to create custom applications and custom rules in SmartThings. And you guys have been listening long enough, you know I use SmartThings primarily right now. Really holding off for their version 2 of the hub. Really excited about that. Local processing, so you're not really restricted by that cloud environment. And speaking of that, last couple days, it's been pretty delayed in the execution of some of my rules. So if the local hub comes out and it's has that local processing a lot faster, really excited about that. But this would be benefit to anyone with a hub other than SmartThings, really, because it's on your phone, it's fully customizable. The geolocation on this seems to be a lot more accurate than some of the other applications. Trying to set up your phone as a presence sensor in SmartThings is hit and miss. This seems like it works out really well. And yeah, it's beta right now, so go ahead and sign up for it. I don't know if they're going to charge for it in the future or anything like that, but try it out if you're willing. Just remember it's beta. It's kind of like users who download the iOS 9 already when it's in developer and beta mode, and then you complain because things don't work right. Just remember, it's beta, so you know that going into it, and it's only going to improve with your feedback. So definitely provide that feedback. Again, everybody who's watching, sorry about the basement look and the green screen. So that's it for now. I'm going to keep using this application for a long time until it I either get tired of it or it becomes part of my daily routine. So I'll give you any updates if any new features come out. If the folks over at this application thinks I missed out any important information, shoot me an email. We'll schedule a hangout or a Skype call, and I'll get that information out to everybody. I really think this application could be pretty useful in the future. All right, so other than that, I want to talk to you guys about smart vents. And this may not sound too terribly exciting, but I think that this type of a device, will complement, not replace, will complement your smart thermostat. And the reason I say this is because this is devices designed to replace your air vent. Something that you step on all the time, something that your kids probably play with all the time. You probably had to take them apart to fish toys and food and whatnot out of your ductwork there. So you really probably don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about these things. Well, what these devices being smart, what they're going to allow you to do is it's going to monitor the temperature in that room that the vent's in, and then when it reaches its peak temperature, it's going to shut. This may not sound very useful at all, but what this allows you to do, especially if you're using the forced air system, is it closes that outlet out. So it allows that air pressure to be passed on to further down the line or be useful somewhere else. So it allows that room to get cut off, maintain that temperature that it's in, but it puts more air into the other rooms that may still need it and allow those to cool down as well. So it kind of balances the temperatures out in your rooms. Most thermostats here in the U.S., I don't know about the other countries, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably the same setup. But most thermostats are in a hallway. Maybe it's in the hallway next to your living room. It's probably closer to your living room than it is any of the bedrooms. If you have larger systems, you may have multi-zoned systems where you have more than one thermostat. Either way, that thermostat is reading the temperature where it's at. So if it's in a hall or it's in the living room, when that area reaches your desired temperature, heat or cold, it's going to shut off. Well, that area may heat or cold quicker than the rest of your house. So you'll end up turning it down or the temperature up or down to keep it running longer. So maybe in your back bedroom, it finally cools down at night or warms up, or depending on the time of the year. So it's not really keeping a good balance with your temperature settings. With these vents, it will open and shut the flaps, and most likely the living room's probably going to, if that's where your thermostat is, those flaps are probably going to get closed more often than the ones in those back rooms, and it's going to balance the temperature. That way your thermostat doesn't reach its desired temperature before the rest of the rooms are reaching their or close to their desired temperature. So that will allow you to not have to have a multi-zone air conditioner system. Sorry, guys, but it'll kind of help with that load balancing or temperature balancing. Another thermostat here recently that I've been looking at is the Echo B3. Yeah, their newer one has HomeKit if that's something you're interested in. The older Echo B3, they didn't change the name. They just came out with a new model that does HomeKit. But the original Echo B3 doesn't do the HomeKit. So if you got one of the originals, the only thing really changed in the new one is the HomeKit. So that thermostat's neat because it comes with a second thermostat or temperature sensor. Maybe I will delete this video. But it comes with a second temperature sensor, so you can put that in another room, and it will actually balance the temperature in your home between those two sensors. So it's kind of the same thing as those smart vents. It's trying to help balance the temperature so your other rooms have a chance of reaching that cool or that that warm environment that you're looking for before the thermostat shuts down. So these smart thermostats are nothing new. There's all kinds of them out there. There's EchoNet, but that's $95 an air vent. It's crazy, right? There's one called Keen Home. It's pre-order right now. There's a link in the show notes for this one particularly. And the reason that I'm linking to this one particularly is because it has a couple different options as far as design. It really looks a lot better than the EchoNet. The EchoNet's an all-white vent with a chunk to the side with a sensor and their logo and everything in it. The Keen Home has white and it's got arbor, and it kind of has some design elements to it. It looks very appeasing. It's pretty nice. Got multiple colors, multiple sizes, and they even have a wizard on their site. You can select how many bedrooms you have, how many bathrooms that you have, and it'll give you an estimate on how many vents you want. You can use that, or you can walk around your house and count how many air vents you have, and then put that number in there. That works too, because more often than not, you may actually have more than one vent in some of these rooms in your home. Your living room may have two. Your master bedroom or your bathroom could have a few. So count how many you actually have and try it out and type that number in there. But you go to their website, you pick their design, you pick how many you want. It's pre-order. So kind of like a Kickstarter project, pre-order. Pre-order means they'll ship eventually, and on their site it says sometime 2015. So pre-order. The only thing with they're offering a 25% off, and you get a free Keen Home Smart Bridge. Now I reached out to this company. They were supposed to call me on Friday. Never got a call back from them. I emailed out to them again. Haven't heard back from them yet. So take a look at this. Decide if it's something that you may be interested in trying. I do have a few questions for them as far as what type of communication are they actually using, because you hear the word Smart Bridge and great, another proprietary protocol, another hub you have to put in. But if it's using a standard protocol, Zigbee, Z-Wave, even if it's Wi-Fi based, maybe there's an option of setting this up if you already have an existing hub, like the Wink lights. I was able to use the Philips Hue hub. Some of the other ones that are IP based and they just connect to the wireless. Considering I wouldn't expect Wi-Fi in these things. They're small. They're designed to go in your vent. I would expect them to be probably Zigbee, to be honest with you, just to kind of lower the communication rate that these are going to use, keep your battery lasting as long as it can. So that's probably what that bridge is for. If it's Zigbee or Z-Wave, and if you have a smart bridge already, like SmartThings or some of the other ones out there, maybe you don't need that bridge. So I have to get that as a question. So I've got a little list of questions. I'm waiting for them to contact me back. I'm hoping that I can get a unit out earlier to actually test it out and see how well it works. But I will keep you guys updated on that. Check out the site. The link's in the show notes. You can kind of take a look at it and see, if it's worth investigating or keeping an eye on for you. And it will, $20 a pop. Maybe you just order one anyway just to see how well it works. But right now, their pre-orders, if you pre-order now, you get 25% off and a free bridge. There's some videos to see how it works and things like that. So check them out. I didn't have a whole lot planned for the show, guys, because I've been trying to get the video and the live streaming set up to see how well that would work out. So, I'm going to keep working on this. I'm going to keep working on the video. I'm going to keep working on trying to cover up the basement behind me and, keep trying to get better at this. So, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching online. I greatly appreciate it. You can find the show notes online at smarthomehq.net. Apparently my kids are trying to get my attention because they're flashing the lights on for me. So I will wrap this up, but you can find the show notes online at smarthomehq.net/032. And you can send me any feedback. You can do feedback at smarthomehq.net, or you can do chris@smarthomehq.net. And we'll see you next time. Thanks again. It's time to make your home a little smarter. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And for those watching online, greatly appreciate it. Thank you.